Well, hello everyone. This is Charles Harper, and I am excited today. And I'm going to be talking to Henry Centiero, and he is an expert in the crypto space as well as in talking about NFTs. And we are going to start from start from some basics and then kind of move our way up to understand. And because he is an author and a speaker, and also teaches a course even on Udemy on the subject, he's an excellent person to give us the broad-based understanding we need to enter this world. Henry, welcome.
Hi, Charles. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, before we got on the call, I saw on in the news, and I don't know whether it's in the Wall Street Journal or not, that there was a young man who did something with his faceless expressions and he turned it into an NFT and he sold it for millions of dollars. And so those of us who are in our audience, we create courses, we sell, digital information. And so the idea that you could take something and turn it into that may be a little foreign to us. So from that perspective, maybe not that particular example, can you kind of walk us through what it means to have an NFT and then what it means to monetize that NFT?
Yeah, sure. Charles, I think you are referring to this young Indonesian guy that he took a photo of his face for like 3 or 4 years and then decided to tokenize to turn these photos into NFTs. And surprisingly, it's been selling, like you said, that he has been selling them very well and already made probably like a couple of $1 million,
Yeah.
which is very impressive. And I think the reason why is that people in this space are looking for something unique, and the people are looking for new ideas. And NFTs is a lot about uniqueness and fungibility and allowing for the first time in human history to have a digital ownership of digital assets. So at the moment, there are millions and millions of NFTs, and not everything has value, right? If we go to NFT marketplaces like OpenSea and you click the explore button, you can probably see like 10 million or 20 million different
Right.
NFTs. And NFTs is just basically a digital certificate of ownership of something. And this something doesn't mean that because it's an NFT doesn't mean that it has value, right? Because
Right.
if I do some kind of drawing, I'm not an artist, I have no idea about art, and the value is zero, right? But it's just like in the real world. Like if I try to sell my paintings, they are not going to sell for any money because I'm not an artist. A 5-year-old probably is, if tries to sell his paintings, probably is not going to make much money. But if you have something new, a creative idea, or if you are already established artist, you can tokenize this art or work. It doesn't need to be exactly a painting or digital art. It can be a music, a song, a piece of video, a digital animation, or even physical assets. And you can tokenize them. Basically, you can create a certificate of ownership on the blockchain that are these NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And then once you have this digital registration on the blockchain, people can exchange it, can send from person A to person B, right? And NFT is basically stands for non-fungible token. And it's just important to talk about the fungibility, right? What's this, this fungibility thing? So if we have like a $10 note, one $10 note is the same as any other $10 note, or one $10 note is the same as two $5 notes. They are interchangeable, they have exactly the same value, and they are all pretty much the same. Now, non-fungible assets are assets that differ in value. They have unique characteristics. Like a Basquiat painting is different from a Picasso painting, and they are fungible assets and they are very unique. Or the photography of your family is different from someone else, right?
Right, right,
So these
yeah.
are fungible assets, and what these NFTs, these digital tokens on the blockchain allow us to do is to create unique tokens that represent a specific assets, and they are connected to these, usually to digital assets, but you can also, in theory, you can also have NFTs that represent a house, a piece of land, or a car. There is actually a project that is tokenizing rare wine, so it's already a physical asset, to
Right.
kind of avoid like wine counterfeiting and things like that. So there are a lot of possibilities, but in a nutshell, this is what an NFT is.
So basically, I'm bringing this concept of the Mona Lisa to the digital world. So what I have is what I believe to be, let's say, whatever it is, whether it's a course, whether it is something or a document, I have, and I believe it to be the Mona Lisa. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to then, you've been using the word tokenize. So for those of us who know nothing about this, and know you've connected it to the blockchain, um, and basically that's the crypto space. So if I have this Mona Lisa in some form, how do I then go about tokenizing it? Because that sounds like that's the first step.
Mhm. Yeah, right. So imagine if you have the Mona Lisa, how, or a digital assets, how do you make sure that your Mona Lisa is a real one? Because, well, we have the Mona Lisa, but probably in human history, many people already try to copy the Mona Lisa. Artists try to make fake Mona Lisa. You can have a very good quality prints that you buy from Amazon, and it looks almost the same as the original Mona Lisa, but it's just a print. And the reason why the original Mona Lisa has value is because we know that one is a real one. And we know that is a real one. Well, for physical assets, it's kind of easy because it's a physical asset and it's in a museum, and probably you have auction houses and people that are specialized in authenticating physical art. And
Right.
then you have like a paper that says that this is a real Mona Lisa that Vincent van Gogh made, right? Now, for digital assets, sometimes it's a bit hard, right? Because one of the arguments that people that don't believe in NFTs say is that, okay, I can just copy paste that same image.
Right.
Well, but the thing is that the one that is tokenized, the one that was turned into an NFT, is linked to an entry on a blockchain, right? So just very quickly, just going back to what is a blockchain. So a blockchain is basically a distributed database, and it's immutable and fully transparent. Imagine this. In the traditional world, we have, for example, you have your accountant, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you trust that your accountant is keeping your books in place, your payments, your taxes, and so on. And you really need to trust his accountant because he may try to do some kind of fraud, right? Now imagine that instead of one accountant, imagine that you have 10,000 accountants,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the Ethereum case. You have basically 10,000 nodes, 10,000 computers that are keeping all the ledger, all the transactions.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it's very hard to fake a transaction,
Right.
or to try to, I cannot fake an NFT, right? I cannot fake a token because I would have to bribe almost 10,000 nodes, right? It's easy to bribe one accountant, but if you have 10,000 of them and they all have the same rules, then it's very, very hard to bribe them. So what we do when we tokenize an asset, it can be an image or a piece of content, is that we basically create a token on the blockchain through a smart contract. And we say this token is associated with this piece of content, with the metadata of this piece of content, and this is a real one, and it's limited to 1, or you can say it's limited to 10, or depending on whatever you want to do, right? And it's registered on the blockchain, and it's forever immutable there on the blockchain.
So if we can create something, let's say it's something from our family or something that, we either, came with out of our brain or something that is just part of our everyday world, but we know there's nothing else like it.